What's up, Smitty?
Atta boy, Madden.
Yeah, it's good to
Yeah,
see them finally get something right. It's good to see them recognize a player like Trent Williams. Like this guy is incredible. Like eight-time All-Pro player, the best left tackle of our generation, and Madden gave him a 99. That's pretty rare. Like not a lot of players get rare 99. There hasn't been a lot. There's only a handful, like Aaron Donald, Devontae Adams. There isn't a lot of 99 players, and Trent Williams is one of them. Pretty
yep.
amazing.
99 ratings, and Trent Williams is one.
It's
Atta
dope, man.
boy. Atta boy.
And he's so
What,
important to the run game for the Niners, which is the key to our offense. But, we can sit here and talk about Trent all day. There's a man by the name of Trey Lance, and this is all I'm going to say. I'm going to say this before we get to this topic because we're going to be talking about this for a while tonight. So I feel like whenever the media gets bored, whenever the media has nothing to do this offseason, whenever they're like searching for views and engagement, and they're like, what do we talk about? Let's talk about Trey Lance. Let's just throw some words on the wall. Let's just throw some shit on the wall, see if it sticks, whatever the case is. And they just say stuff, and they just throw these crazy theories. So again today, a month ago, these reports surfaced, and then all of a sudden, today, Mike Silver and Colin Cowherd, two old crusty white dudes, got nothing better to do. Two old crusty guys got nothing better to do. They go out there and they start throwing salt on Trey's name. They said, "Oh, he's got arm fatigue, arm fitness. He's his arm gets tired after he throws so many plays. Like he's not accurate." They're just throwing all this stuff out again. They're talking about how he has arm fatigue. It's the most just embarrassing. It's the most ridiculous.
that is embarrassing.
It's stupid, man. They're sitting there. They always bring up the stupid arm fatigue. Like it doesn't even make sense. This kid is 22 years old. You think this man's getting tired from throwing the football? Like it just make it make sense. These people have nothing better to do than
You
just
should
dog his name.
have your man card taken away. You should have your journalist card taken away. You should have everything taken away when you say something stupid like arm fatigue for a young quarterback, like you said. And on top of that, like, even if, let's say, he was getting tired throwing the football because he maybe didn't throw enough, and like, does anybody think you can't build that up if it was even a thing? But it's not a thing. We've seen Trey Lance launch the what did Eric Davis say? I don't know if Eric Davis is even watching right now, but Eric Davis said that Trey Lance could throw one of those darts 40, 50, 60 yards down the field without going above the goalpost, the lower part of the goal. Like, what are people talking about? It's like you said, perfect word, embarrassing. Take away his man card.
It's so embarrassing, Smitty, because here's the thing. It's like, again, 22 years old. Talk about arm fitness. To me, arm fitness is a baseball term. It's like if he's sitting there throwing like 100-mile fastball, like repetitive, yeah, your arm's going to get a little fatigue. You might get a little arm fit. Your arm fitness is not good. Your endurance is not good. That guy does not sit there and throw like 20 balls in a minute. He's not throwing the ball like 70 miles an hour, 90 miles an hour. He's not throwing at that rate. You're not going to sit there and fatigue out. Football, you get breaks. You take little reps up. You get a lot more time in between, and it just boggles my mind. They just throw words out there to sound like they know what they're talking about. Again, it's because the media has no news, and they're like, "Oh, let's bring up this Trey Lance. Let's just spin the story," and then they're like, "Oh, so I heard," and it's always "so I heard." It's like when we were talking about a couple months ago. Oh, per a source. Nobody knows anything about anything. Me and you can sit here and say, "Well, I heard." Oh, well, per
Yeah,
a source.
yeah.
But just because they're in national media, they think that it's a real source.
I talked about this on my show today. Like, there's a report that is saying that Ronald Jones could start for the Chiefs in 2022, and people start freaking out and come to me saying, "What about Clyde Edwards-Helaire? This and that." And it's like, that is from an athletic reporter, and the Athletic's always the source of something that's unsourced, you know. And it's like this is one man speaking about what he thinks, and then NBC Sports took it and then did a little story on it. Like you and I, no one's taking what we say as law and saying, "Oh my God." Ross said he thinks Trey Lance is going to be an absolute monster. NBC Sports or CBS Sports, Roto World, whoever could take that clip the same way that someone's taking these stupid comments that people are making. Name one person that has video footage of this arm fatigue. Name one person that has a source of somebody talking about the arm fatigue that's seen it. No one. No one's seen it. There's no video footage. There isn't even a person drawing it You know, has someone done court draws? What's going on? No one's
Yeah.
got it.
Yeah.
However, Trey Lance has arm fatigue. It's BS, bro. Man cards stripped away. Take them away now.
Yeah, it's so stupid. Like, can you imagine like Trey Lance on the field? Yo, Kyle, my arm is 50. Like, this is what I picture. Like Trey Lance going to the sideline. Kyle, my shoulder feels it's so tired. You put Jimmy in. Is that why they got Jimmy on the? Can you put Jimmy in? My shoulder's tired. Oh, Jimmy might have arm fatigue, arm fitness too now because he's just coming off of shoulder surgery. So they're gonna be the arm fitness brothers. Like, come on, man, it's so stupid.
What's wrong with Trey's arm? Trey's arm, it grows. Throw a missile down the field. That's what's wrong. He goes over to the trainer and they're like, look at this python. Look at this python. This thing's out of control. We need to put it in a cage. This man's going to throw 60, 70 yards down the field, Indian style in the air, bro. He's going to jump up Indian style and throw a freaking dart 60 yards down the field, not off his back leg. Fatigue.
Arm fatigue, bro. Arm fatigue. Come on, what is this shit? It's so stupid to me. Arm fatigue. Come on, man. You really? I'm a 22-year-old, like stud. I got this chiseled body. I'm a great athlete. The guy's a dynamic, world-class athlete. And you want to talk about this man's got some arm fatigue? Come on, man. I mean, maybe if you're one of those middle-aged reporters, you'd think arm fatigue might be because you're jacking it too much. You might got some arm fatigue, Colin Cowherd. But Trey Lance, let me believe you. Let me tell you, Trey Lance don't got no arm fatigue. This is the dumbest shit I've heard all year, dude.
Cowherd was the one that said that?
So it was Colin Cowherd and Mike Silver, who I was surprised that Mike Silver said that because he's kind of pro. He's a Niner insider kind of guy, and I feel like he never has these weird takes with the Niners. But him and Cowherd kind of came together today on the Volume Sports podcast, and it's weird because it's like this new podcast. So again, I really feel like this is what they were doing to get their engagement because Trey Lance right now is a hot topic. You're going to get a lot of views. A lot of people are talking about it.
Arm fatigue. It is stupid, though. It's stupid. It's a dumb. It's almost like it's like a made up. Yeah, dude's 20. Did he turn 22 yet?
He's 22.
Just turned 20. 22. He's got arm fatigue. It's the first time I've ever heard that in my life.
Shit, man.
Tom Brady doesn't even have arm fatigue, and he's half his age.
Tom Brady, what, like 44? Man, you gonna talk about arm fatigue? Come on, man. Appreciate the people that bought the badges. First off, I want to say thank you, Adian. What's up, my man? But yeah, it's just so stupid, dude. Like, why are we sitting here talking about?
Why can't?
Go ahead.
I just don't understand why you can get away with saying something stupid like that, and then nobody like when Adam Rank. Let me give Adam Rank his flowers. He's got thicker skin than anybody in the business, and he takes it, on the chin. And dude understands he botched that Niner prediction, the 13-3 or whatever, the reverse.
Yeah, 13. Yeah.
And, it's like at least he got blasted for it. Like, how does Cowherd get away with this? This is crazy.
You know what though? From what I've noticed, Cowherd. No, and this is I'm gonna say this, and I don't hate Cowherd. This is his job. He's an opinionist. He's gonna go out there and these takes. That's what he gets paid to do. Whatever. I'd do the same thing. I would love to get paid for doing it. And sometimes you can go out there and make a take, and it's terrible. But I sound like Charles Barkley there. Terrible. But no. What Colin Cowherd does, he switches up a lot. He changes his. There's a guy on Twitter. I can't remember his page, but his page is dedicated to all the switch ups that Cowherd has made. There was one Sam Darnold. Oh, he's gonna come in the league. He's gonna light. Oh, I can't believe this guy was drafted. He was so hyped on Sam Darnold. And then there was another video right after that where he posted, and it's Sam Darnold. This guy. Well, you're not gonna start a franchise. Nobody ever believed. I would never. And he basically flip flop from what his normal saying was, and he does that all the time. Colin Cowherd is notorious for here's your take, and then he flip flops it. It's all the time. That's the Colin Cowherd special. He even has a segment on a show where Colin was right, where Colin is wrong. So he knows he's going to make wrong takes, but he simply does it to get content and to talk. He's a talking head,
Yeah, I mean, it's one thing. It's one thing though to be a prediction, specialist. If I'm going to say Trey Lance is going to be a top 5 to 7 quarterback and he falls flat on his face, I'm going to look dumb. but like I'm predicting something. Cowherd's saying he heard or he has a source
Yeah.
that Trey Lance is arm fatigue, and what I'm saying is that's different than predicting something bad. That you're either being fed dog crap and you're believing it and you're shoving it out there, or you like literally are gullible. You know, like you're either lying or you're gullible as can be, because there's no one out there that actually has that information. It's not factual. There's nothing out there, no tangible evidence. There's no video footage. Trey Lance dropping back and the ball just falls short, and then Debo's running down the field. And fatigue, bro.
You know
Fatigue.
that. You know what's gonna
Trainer,
happen.
get the trainers over here.
You know exactly that's what's gonna happen. The moment Trey throws a ball and it's like short on a receiver, the game, he has a pass where he's like, oh, he just missed him short. I swear to God, there's going to be so many tweets. There's going to be so many announcers. There's going to be so many reporters. And they're going to tweet, oh, was that Trey Lance arm fatigue settling in? Was that the arm fatigue? I already can see it. I know it from a mile away. We're going to see some dumb tweet. Oh, that's Trey Lance's arm fatigue setting in right there. Like, oh, it's going to be
He won't, don't worry. He won't have enough of those moments in a row that anybody could ever draw a conclusion from, because he maybe throws a ball into the ground once, but then he's going to throw two touchdowns, run one in. Don't worry about it.
Oh, I know he is, but that's the thing. They're going to be so quick to like make that.
Let
They're
him.
going to be like, ha ha ha. But he's going to prove everybody wrong. Like literally,
Python.
I'm saving all these tweets. I'm saving all these dumb negative responses because I cannot wait to sit there and just laugh at them. I'm saving receipts so much this season that it's going to be amazing. It's going to be amazing.
Bro, dude has a python for an arm. They're going to be saying, look at that python. Show me your python. That dude's arm is not. Pythons don't get fatigued, Raj. They don't get fatigued.
Yeah.
They just get more intense, and this dude's going to absolutely drop fire all over the field. I can't wait.
It's crazy, man.
I
see people in the comments saying Colin Cowherd might be salty about Trey because there was a rumor that he was Colin Cowherd's daughter. I guess he's not anymore. I mean, maybe a little salty. I don't know, man, because some of the stuff.
That does make sense, bro. I forgot about that. They dated, right? Oh, yeah, that's why he's salty, bro. That's all it is. Fatigue. Bro, Trey Lance might come out with something like, ask your daughter if I'm fatigued. Bro, he might come out and be like, I don't think so.
It might be the case.
Like if I'm Trey Lance, I'm snapping back a little bit and be like, fatigue, why don't you ask around, bro?
Oh, God. You took it that far. You know what, though? I honestly,
Trey Lance was dating his daughter.
He's going to let his game do the talking. That's it. Trey Lance is going to let his game do the talking.
He's too smooth, bro. He's not going to. He doesn't need to dip down.
That boy is smooth as butter, Smitty. He's going to be.
Yeah. He doesn't need to go that route. But, like, what a dumb like, you should say something like, okay, his accuracy. You know, because then, like, you can say, okay, well, that'll be proven on the field to be wrong.
He did say, actually. He did say.
Arm fatigue's not even a thing. You know, it's like, it's stupid. I can't wait, bro. And we don't have that much longer to wait, and it's going to be awesome.
I know.
It's awesome. I know. He can't fail. Bro, he trip and fall into good numbers. Like, if he's good, he's going to be great because of the offense. If he's great, he's going to be amazing because of the offense. He would literally have to be very bad to just be good. Like, that's how much support he has in the weaponry that's sitting in front of him. Like, everything he is, he will be one level better because of the situation. That's just like anything. You can't separate situation from player. As much as people will want to, as much as Fields fans and Bears fans and Patriots fans and Jaguars fans and Jets fans are going to want to say, okay, well, our quarterback doesn't have that amount of weapons. That's why. That's the next thing people
They're all going to say, oh, well, he's in a better situation. Of course, if Zach Wilson was in the night, you're right. You're right, Smitty. That's going to be the next narrative soon. And you know what? Jerry Rice, last week, was it a week or so ago, he says, you know, he feels Trey Lance is going to be special. He knows he's ready. Like, I'm going to listen to Jerry Rice over Colin Cowherd. Because guess what? Jerry Rice was the greatest receiver of all time. Colin Cowherd, not anywhere close. I don't even think he played sports. So I'm going to listen to Jerry Rice over Colin Cowherd on this one.
I think Cowherd's got like analysis fatigue, bro, because that shit's been falling flat for a while now, and I think maybe it's time for him to hang it up.
Well, no, I mean, sometimes you just need a break. Like, sometimes you got to take a break. If you got podcasts or social media, I take breaks. You got to take a break. Colin Cowherd, he might need to take a break. Let me play this clip of this video. You can hear it, because I don't know if you heard the whole thing. Hold on. I'm going to play it, Smitty.
Yeah. Is that he's not, his delivery is, they're kind of rebuilding it. He gets arm fatigue. It's not an easy throw. He needs days off, and they're worried about his. Yep. And they're worried about his accuracy. You and I are hearing the same things, because you and I know. Andy Reid moved off Alex Smith, who got into the playoffs, because they were at practice. They saw Mahomes, right? Yeah. By the way, Buffalo, even though Josh Allen struggled first year, was all in because they were at practice.
And I want to caution fans here. What happened with Josh Allen is as far as.
So they keep going, obviously.
No, let me. Who was that talking? Who was that running his mouth guy who was about to just make himself look like a fool right after him?
So
who was
the second guy was Mike Silver. The first guy was Colin.
Way to go, Mike. Way to put your foot right in your mouth, fool. Like, here he is saying, about to say that Josh Allen's a special circumstance that doesn't come around every day. Sophomore quarterbacks break out every single time now. That's the formula. Herbert, Burrow, Josh Allen. What are you talking about, Mahomes? Like, come on. It's the way that the quarterbacks evolve at the NFL level now. Sophomore seasons. You know what you got immediately your sophomore season. You know what you're dealing with. And Trey Lance, no one's rebuilding Trey Lance's throwing motion. Are you out of your mind? The guy went to the combine. We all saw him throw. And everybody was enamored by the way this guy threw the football down the field. And everybody's saying they're rebuilding his throwing motion. Get out of here.
No, that's the thing that irritates me, is they're sitting there, they're literally saying, oh, he's getting fatigued because he's relearning how to throw the ball. He's having to throw the ball at a different rate. Are you stupid or are you dumb? Which one are you, stupid or dumb? It makes no sense. Why are you going to change someone's mechanics who's been doing this their whole career? He's made a living of this. He's made a career. He's got into the pros. He's the number 3 pick in the NFL draft. He played college ball, high school. This is the way he throws. You're not going to change anything. And if you're going to make all of a sudden a rash change in his mechanics, he's not going to be the same type of player. It makes no sense.
And let me preface one thing. Changing some mechanics is different than rebuilding his throwing motion and rebuilding the way rebuilding means you literally are garbage and we got to start from scratch. No, that's a ridiculous. Like, hey, let's get his elbow higher. Let's have him hold the ball higher before he releases the football so that he has a quick, like, that stuff's fine. But, there's a quarterback out there that seems to throw sidearm a lot. What's his name? Patrick Mahomes, that we kind of feel like there's a lot of correlation here. People calling this guy, you don't come out of the combine and get compared to Patrick Mahomes by a lot of people that know what they're talking about, 2 of which are right here. You don't have people walking out of the combine saying this guy is maybe the next Patrick Mahomes and have a throwing motion that you have to rebuild.
Yeah.
Stupid.
Yeah, exactly. If he has the people that have said that he could be like the next Josh Allen or a player in the mold of Patrick Mahomes or like that type of caliber player, you're not going to sit there and have the conversation and saying, oh, well, he could be Josh Allen, but he needs to change his arm motions when he throws. Like, that makes no sense. And to sit here and say that he's getting arm fatigue because he's learning a whole new throwing it's the stupidest thing. These 2 old dudes arguing and saying the dumbest things for whatever reason to make sure they're irrelevant in social media.
We're both hearing the same thing. You're both hearing a bunch of BS, bro. Like,
hey, Smitty, I'm hearing something.
I'm hearing something too.
I'm hearing a lot of dumbass people say some dumbass things on social media. That's what I'm hearing. That's what I'm hearing.
Cowherd needs to hang it up, bro. I'm all about, like, everybody shouldn't rip on everybody's craft and everybody's got their, but like when you start saying things that like aren't true, like fatigue, rebuilding, like, I bet you anything if you asked Shanahan that question or John and you got honesty from them, I don't know that they might even be like, I don't know what you're talking about. We don't have anybody like named Trey Lance on the team. I'm not going to admit that we even have a Trey Lance in the team. Like Shanahan won't admit anything. But
Yeah.
like if you could get honesty from him, he'd probably be like, I don't know what you're talking about. Like I don't like what you're saying is 1,000% not true because no one's rebuilding anything. On top of the fact that like we drafted this guy because of his mechanics, you moron. Like what do you think? We drafted a guy we didn't like his mechanics? Like do you think he was drooling over Trey Lance? Remember all the talk about how Shanahan was drawing plays on his Etch-a-Sketch when he got on the plane, and he was just enamored by Trey. And then what? He was enamored by rebuilding some guy's mechanics. Like, get out of here.
Makes sense, dude. Like, I don't know. I don't know why the media has to do this. They're silly. It's all off season. Again, it's like I said. I feel like when the media is tired, they got nothing to roll with. Ooh, there's no ideas. What should we post? Oh, this is the post of the off season. Let's roll with. Like every off season, there's a story that people will always run towards, and they know they can get traction off of it. And this is the story this year: the Niners and Trey Lance and the quarterback situation. And it was the same thing for us last year. It's the same crap. They do the same thing. Like, all right, what? How can we talk about this topic we've talked about 100 times in a different way today? Arm fatigue. Well, let's do that. So it makes no sense. But really, I don't pay attention. I know Trey's going to come out and he's going to be special, and we all know. You know, one guy, though, in the media that's actually been very pro Trey, and he's kind of had he's got some experience in Kyle Shanahan's system, and he played under Kyle. He was a young mobile quarterback. RG3, Robert Griffin III, he's very pro Trey Lance. I think they have a lot of similarities, mobile quarterback, strong arm. RG3 coming out of college, I mean, he was throwing some rockets, right, at Baylor, and he has that deep arm and that mobility, and he played in that Kyle Shanahan system. He's one of the different guys because most quarterbacks in Kyle Shanahan's system have been like the Jimmy G, the Matt Ryan, those non-mobile type quarterbacks with that quick release. RG3 was a little different. I feel like Trey Lance, he's definitely different from the most of those quarterbacks, and RG3's been very positive. I got some. Let me pull up his tweets, and he was on Matt Mayoko's podcast today. A lot of good insight.
Yeah, while you pull that up, I'll say maybe I think I know what's going on here. I think maybe Trey Lance broke up with Colin Cowherd's daughter, started dating Silver's daughter, and they're hearing the same information, which is true. That they're pretty upset about this thing, bro. It's ridiculous. Like I wish at least they'd said something that we can't even can't really prove wrong. Like you can prove this wrong very easily. If this got a little bit bigger and people pressed for information, like if you have people in that media room asking about arm fatigue, that's going to be great because I can't wait for that to come out. I can't wait for it to come out, bro.
Yeah, it's gonna be great. I literally can't wait, dude. Oh man, let me. So I got a couple things of what RG3 said, and then maybe we can play his video. So he says, this is about Trey Lance. He says he can run both systems. He can run what I ran, and he can run what Jimmy Garoppolo runs, and that's what the 49ers need, a guy that can do both. And we've said that. You've actually said this before. Yeah, that was one of your takes is Trey can do both offenses. That's what he did last year. He came in and run Jimmy's system. They haven't even made the Trey Lance package. They really haven't made Trey
Right.
Lance system. I see that this year. So story. And then he says, this is a growth moment for him. Speaking of Trey, he says he realizes, yes, let's call it what it is. He's a control freak. He's talking about Kyle Shanahan. This is on Kyle Shanahan, talking about Kyle Shanahan. He says he wants to control everything. He wants to control every aspect of the offense. And maybe he's understanding that sometimes you need a guy that can just make a play for you. So maybe I think what he's saying is Kyle Shanahan, he wants that control. And we've said this before. He wants to be the guy in charge. But now you got a guy like Trey Lance. You got to let him be Trey Lance. And sometimes you just got him be the guy, be free, create, and do what makes him successful. And then they can collaborate, and Kyle can say, hey, can you make this play? Can you do this? Can you run this? Can you hit this play? And Trey can say, I can fucking do it. But there's got to be times where the play comes, and Trey's like, this play's not going to work, Kyle. And he looks and he checks him off, and he does his thing. So I think that's what 3 saying.
And he has 14 rushing touchdowns with 0 INTs in college to prove that he knows how to do that. And the other part, too, is that Shanahan can definitely take his foot off the gas. Shanahan's a great scheme guy. Shanahan's one of the better offensive minds in the NFL, but Shanahan does drop the ball in certain situations, and he's never had a quarterback that can bail him out because if you do shitty play calling, and you have a quarterback that's not mobile, that quarterback lives and dies by your call. Trey Lance can bail out Shanahan from bad decisions, and you won't even know that it was a bad call. You'll be like, that play worked out great. So I think Shanahan's going to enjoy that. He's married to him at this point, and I think he knows that he's got to let go and grow as a coach, because he has to, because you can't stop Trey Lance from scrambling if a play's breaking down. You can't. There's no way you could say, I'm not going to let him run. He's going to pick up and go. That's who he is. And that's going to make – and not only that, when he picks up and goes, he still might throw a 40-yard bomb down the field. Just because he picks up and goes, he's getting out of the pocket. When he gets out of the pocket, he sees Debo cutting back. He sees Ayuk cutting back. Danny Gray's going, I'm open, I'm wide open, Danny.
And not only that, when he runs out, when he escapes the pressure, and the defense starts pulling towards Trey, because they're like, he's going to run. They have the threat of the run. They're going to be like, they have to respect his feet. And if they pull over, there's going to be a lot more players open. And Trey can be like, oh, boom, dot him up. And he's got that cannon of an arm. It's going to be special. So I want to play with RG3. It's about a minute and a half. We'll play a little bit of it. This was him on the Matt Mayoko podcast today. This is courtesy of NBC Authentic. So let's talk, because he did talk about the other day how he really believes that Mac Jones is going to be the most successful quarterback right now because he had the most opportunities last year. But he said Trey Lance is the outlier, that he has the special abilities. He has the talent around him, like we says. And he says if Trey can be as good as we think he can, then he's the outlier, and then he'd be the guy. But he says right now, with the way things went, he said Mac Jones probably be that guy. But he did talk about Trey Lance's potential, so I want to play this. This is pretty good stuff.
So you recently said that of the 2021 rookie quarterbacks, Mac Jones was going to be likely to be the first guy to win a Super Bowl. You then said the outlier is Trey Lance.
Correct.
Explain.
Yeah, so specifically what I said was that Mac Jones, of all the rookie QBs that played serious time last year, is going to be, I feel like he's most likely to win a ring. Now, the reason I said serious time last year is because Trey Lance didn't play serious time last year. So he was the outlier. The reason I have Trey Lance as the outlier is because we don't know what we don't know about him yet. So it's not time to pass judgment or to put expectations on him. What I do know is that he's a more talented quarterback than Jimmy Garoppolo. He is more athletic than Jimmy Garoppolo and has a stronger arm than Jimmy Garoppolo. But Kyle Shanahan has had his most success, not his most excitement, his most success with guys like Matt Ryan and Jimmy Garoppolo, who you know are going to run the play and put the onus on the coach to have the system work. If it doesn't work, those guys are throwing the ball away. They're moving on to the next down. Guys like myself and Trey Lance, our talent takes over at times when the play's not there and you can make the coach right. I think that is what's going to take the Niners over the hump and give them an opportunity to win the Super Bowl, not just get to the Super Bowl. I just don't know when that's going to happen because we're not going to know the truth about who Trey Lance is for another 2 or 3 years.
You know, he said exactly what you said. He goes, if the play breaks down or if something, Trey has the ability to make Kyle look smart on the play. Bottom line.
Yeah, he'll get him out of trouble. He'll get him out of trouble, and there's never been a situation like that for Kyle. And Kyle's going to have to accept that, but he'll be forced to accept it because he can't hold back Trey from scrambling. And not to mention, like I said, Trey will scramble to throw. So while he scrambles, he may not make a mistake in Kyle's mind, like he scrambled and got rid of the football and threw it. So the bottom line for me is that Jimmy G is much. I know a lot of people don't like when I talk bad about Jimmy G, and I'm trying to be polite with this. I'm trying to rip on him or anything. He's very limiting. He what?
Speak what you got to. You say what you got to say.
He's very limiting, you know, and it's like it's almost like you're rolling with a D level quarterback, you know, A B C D, you know, F whatever, a D level, but could play like a C level quarterback. Very limited, one dimensional. And then you guys literally climb back from the dead. The thing I don't get is with probably a better defense overall. Yes, offensive line issues, but probably a better offense overall. Like you have Ty Davis Price, you got Danny Gray. You literally have a better offense. Like without Trey, you like if Jimmy were starting, you have a better offense. If Jimmy were starting, you have a better defense. You'd have some offensive line issues that Trey solves that Jimmy doesn't because Trey's mobile. How are you not better? How are you not better if Trey is even remotely close to what we think, or if Trey is like, let's just say he's a C plus type quarterback compared to Jimmy G being a D plus. How do you not play better? If you could
I'll
almost
take a plus over a D plus any day of the week, Smitty.
I know, but he's an A plus. But even if he,
I know he's an A.
Even if
but I'm
wrong,
saying I'll still take the C over the D.
Yeah, I don't really understand how people think that when you almost climbed into a Super Bowl appearance with an average quarterback, what makes anybody like Global in here? Everybody that's anybody that doubts him, only Global's the only one in here. Like he's still defending this.
There's a lot of people that, but you know what? They're gonna learn soon enough, and they'll be riding. They'll be riding. Oh, Trey Lance. Oh, I always
better
knew.
than Jimmy on every level, bro. Every single level. And you know what? For people that think he needed to prove it, if you would have, he did go out there and prove it every time he was asked to do what he did against the Texans, even though the Texans are a joke to everybody. They had a good defense at the time, or decent defense at the time, that beat the Cincinnati Bengals right before. Like, if you didn't feel like he learned enough to prove that he could do it one more game and then go out there and prove it one more game, then I don't know why you're even interested in having Trey on your team if you're a fan. Like, what do you want? You want to wait until when? Like, he was in a position to do it, and yet people still doubting him. Everyone in here saying that he's not ready, like Global. He wasn't ready. No one's ready until they go on the field, like we always say. He went on the field, and he won. He went on the field, and he won. And I remember telling you, Raj, and telling C-Mac and Vlad, because the vibe was that he won that Houston Texan game. He's probably the starter moving forward. Once you put him in,
we thought. And that was a big game, because if the Niners don't win that game, they not make the playoffs. Like, yeah, I know they still had the Rams game, but that Houston game was critical. And, backs against the wall was a tough, they kind of rode this momentum. They got back into a winning mode. It was the second start of his career. They came out a little, flat first half. They were losing. Comeback victory, quieted down, calmed down. And he made the plays he needed to make the play. And he made the adjustments. That was the biggest takeaway, is he got better during that game. And I really felt the vibe was like, oh, Trey Lance got to start. And, we talked about it. Eventually, whatever happened. But right now, this season, I think Trey's just going to get better every game, every single.
I just don't understand how people don't realize that you have, it's just like it's almost like addition. It's like you have 80 out of 100 score, and you hand someone, now you take away a 10% like part of it and give you back 20%. Like, why is everybody not understanding that you're subtracting and then adding more back into the offense? Like with Trey, it's crazy.
They don't get it. They just like
he was 100% better
what they
than Jimmy.